Okay, welcome to a Friday 5. So this time looking at changing the oil, and if you haven't seen it, there's a video complete here. Basically you need to drop the bottom plate and unscrew the sump plug, get the filter off, and then sump plug in, refill, change the filter, then refill, and yeah, pretty easy. So the only thing new now is the bash plate, which means it's just a different mounting point here for the sump, or the what's it called, the other bash plate. So regular bolt 13, this is 11. First thing, clean off. Okay, so yeah, watching again, you can see there's two bolts. Notice I'm leaving the two in, so I will do those by hand. There are two bolts in the front which I haven't removed when I put on the front guard. So the front guard needs to come down, and that's it's not hard, but it's yeah, just another pain. Yeah, get to clean it though. Okay, so if I remember correctly, these are just spacers, and it's just 4 bolts, 2 that I have off, and then these 2 here. So let's just try and get them off, see what happens. Okay, so you can see from the shape of the sump bash plate, you can see it's over the edge here, and I don't think I will be able to get this out with it in place, with the front guard in place, because it's kind of in tension, the front bash plate, so it pushes up here. So I probably could yank it out, but I couldn't. Don't think I would get it back on. So both the front bash plate, so the front bash plate needs to go off before you can take off the sump bash plate. I don't know what it's called. It's a bash plate, but what? You can see the car without the bash plate. So a lot of sand, mud from last year's off-roading. I should be ashamed not cleaning off. Should have cleaned it off before the winter, because I guess there's a lot of salt in these. Yes, so drainage plug looks good. So you always change this out when you change the oil on this screw. You probably can reuse it and have some thread, what's it called, to tighten when you use for water pipes and so on, but yeah, I'm not going to use that. I always buy new ones and new parts, new oil filter, new air filter, so yeah, ready for service. Filter. Okay, new filter, new sump plug. So first thing I do is to get the filter, which you can put into the down into the filter housing. The housing lid, you need to add a new rubber seal, and you need to get some oil on this, so it's going to be easier to when you screw it on, it's going to be easier to screw it on, and also it's going to be sealed properly, and also you get the right torque when you're going to torque it up. So yeah, someone will probably use new oil. I just use the oil which is shared because I haven't opened a new one yet. So you can see there's a tip there, tip top. There's also a seal there, so you can put some oil on that. And then you can see down here there's a hole. Let's say 7 o'clock if you see it right down. So the top here needs to go into that hole. So that's what we're going to do now. Oh, like so, a little push. And with the new seal on, we can put this back on. So check that. Okay, so I checked the magical book and it says 25 Newton meters on both the oil filter housing and also the sump plug. Yes, checking all video of mine, and it's 25 Newton meters on the housing and also on the sump plug. So yeah, let's get that done. Put some oil on the seal here as well to get the right torque settings. Let's see. So just giving a little clean. And new sump plug is in, and we need to torque that up to 25 as well. Okay, so the disco on service needs 5.5 liters of oil. I have 4-liter cans. So what I'm going to do is just I'm going to put on 3 liters, then measure up to 2.5, which will make 5.5. Yeah, 3 liters. Yeah, 5.5. So yeah. So usually I've been using 5W30 since everyone is saying that watch the LR time video about that being the 5W dumbass oil. I checked out the video, also checked out the specs and trying to read up as much as possible. And being that the 5W is for winter condition and on startup, and 30 or 40 being for the running temperature, 40 should be better. I'm not sure if you live in Norway and it's constantly really cold during the winter. I'm not sure it's going to be the best choice. But here in Trondheim it's not going to be a problem because we don't see that many days of really cold temperatures. And if I go up north to Sweden, I'm going to start the car and just leave it running so it gets up to the temperature before I start driving. So yeah. But if it fails, Vera and Christian, LR time, I have someone to blame. But I think it's gonna be okay. Yeah. Let's get it on. So I never go fully 5.5, but almost. So I can always put some in afterwards. I don't want to put too much in and then I have to drain it again. So yeah, just to be sure. But already measure up. Just gonna put this on and then we are ready to get to the next part. Okay, so that's basically the oil change. Everything is in place. The last thing you would do if you were completing it was to put on the sump bash plate, and then yeah, and the front bash plate. But I'm going to look into the changing out the oil on the diffs. Okay, so laying underneath the car, looking forward, you can see the front diff. Drain plug is here. You want to wait with that until you get to open the filler plug, which is just beside the left front drive shaft, half shaft, and you can see it just there. So that's the Allen key. Okay, so a little change of plans. So the front diff oil was looking so good and smelling good even. So I'm just gonna let it be for over the summer, then I can do the change in the fall. But I'm going to change out the fuel filter, and I just need to remove a cover and then get to the fuel filter. Is pretty easy, and then change it out. So I got new filter, so that's gonna be another video. So if you want to see that, hit the next button.